going on, everyone? We are here to talk about wide receivers that you should be starting or sitting in week 3 of the NFL. So let's get right into it. We've got a lot of receivers to talk about that you should be starting this week. And these are receivers that, it's not the obvious guys you should be playing. It's not the Michael Thomases of the world or the Davante Adams of the world. These are guys that are a little bit more fringe that maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't be putting in. And so let's get straight into it. My first receiver on the board for week 3 is Laviska Shenault, Thursday Night Football. DJ Chark is out this week with injury, so Laviska Shenault as a rookie should be a really strong play. He's had double-digit points in his first 2 games as a rookie, and this week with Chark out, Gardner Minshew should be looking for him more and more. They'll use him in the backfield, they'll use him in the slot, they'll use him on outside, they'll use him everywhere. So if you have him, make sure to put him in your lineup this week, unless you have really a lot of depth at receiver and you've got other stronger plays. Next on the list, Allen Lazard and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Pretty sure I got that. That's a mouthful. Marquez Valdes-Scantling. MVS. With Davante Adams, make sure Davante Adams is going to be out this week. But if he is, Lazard and MVS are going to be strong plays going up against the Saints defense. Saints aren't not a horrible pass defense, but Aaron Rodgers has no one else to throw the rock to. So those two should be strong plays. Then we've got CeeDee Lamb going up against Seattle. Seattle pass defense has been giving up some of the most yards, I think second most yards in the league so far. And it looks like CeeDee Lamb he's been out targeting Michael Gallup so far this season. He had a really strong week last week. So CeeDee Lamb is a strong play against Seattle in week 3. And then we've got Anthony Miller. Now we talked about Anthony Miller as a strong play last week because things were kind of up in the air with Allen Robinson, and we thought Anthony Miller would be a strong play because Trubisky would just be throwing to him all game. Didn't have a great game, but this week they're going up against the Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons have been allowing, like Seattle, but the Falcons have been allowing the most passing yards this season so far on defense. So Anthony Miller should be receiving the ball and a lot of targets this week from Trubisky. So he should be a strong play. And then we have Larry Fitzgerald going up against Detroit. Christian Kirk is injured and out, and they're going to be keying on DeAndre Hopkins. So Larry Fitzgerald, old and trustworthy, should be getting the rock a lot in week 3 going up against Detroit. Then Jerry Jeudy with Cortland Sutton out with torn ACL. So sad to hear that for Cortland Sutton. But Jerry Jeudy has to step up. He's going to get a lot of targets from Jeff Driscoll, who's the backup for Drew Lock. He's just going to be looking to drop off passes to Noah Fant and Jerry Jeudy all game. So, they have to have some type of passing game, and those are the 2 guys that they're probably going to be going to. And they're going against Tampa Bay, which is a strong defense, but you got to have some type of passing game. And then we have Zach Pascal. This is my last one. Zach Pascal versus the Jets. Pascal had a touchdown last week, and now Paris Campbell is injured, and Pascal steps into that spot. Should be a really strong play. Rivers has been hitting Campbell a lot in the slot. And so Pascal should be receiving a lot of targets, a lot of volume, and he's going up against the Jets. So that's always a good sign for any receiver or any position going up against the Jets. And that's it for starters. Starting wide receivers you should be starting in week 3. Let's get into wide receivers you should be sitting in week 3. Going along with the Jets, this is a good segue. So any Jets wide receivers, just stay away from them going up against Indianapolis. Poor Sam Darnold. And then we have Will Fuller going against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going to be keying on Will Fuller. Brandon Cooks might be out with injury this week. Keep an eye on that. If he is, it's going to be real tough for Will Fuller to get anything going against Pittsburgh. So he's not a strong play in week 3. 49ers receivers, Brandon Aiyuk had a really, it wasn't a strong debut. A lot of people thought Brandon Aiyuk would be really strong in his rookie debut last week in week 2, but he ended up with believe 4 or 5 fantasy points. And he's going against a Giants defense who they've actually been pretty good. They've been a pretty good passing defense. So whether it's him or Kendrick Bourne, they just don't seem to have a strong passing game right now. So stay away from 49ers receivers. And then lastly, Henry Ruggs III going up against the Patriots. I don't like him in week 3. He's going up against Stephon Gilmore, and that's just a tough matchup for a rookie. Also, there's been some injuries with the Raiders. Bryan Edwards is hurt. Darren Waller is questionable. So if those guys don't play, they're going to be keying on Henry Ruggs, and again, it's going to be tough for him to get going. But if Edwards and Waller both play, maybe he's an all right play, but be sure to watch that. And that is it for wide receivers this week. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to comment below with wide receivers that you think people should be playing or sitting this week. And be sure to subscribe as well to the Fantasy Academy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.